Proszę Państwa, druga nasza dzisiejsza prezentacja. Zawężamy nieco obszar, czyli powracamy do Alfresco. Bardzo często na spotkaniach jeden z obszarów, o który Państwo nas pytacie, to kwestia rozwoju platformy Alfresco. Jak wygląda mapa drogowa, co się dzieje, jak szybko platforma się zmienia. Rozumiemy, że to jest bardzo ważny obszar ocenny dla Państwa przy wyborze technologii. Widzieliśmy w ostatnich latach bardzo duże inwestycje w Alfresco w obszarze aplikacji mobilnych, w obszarze współpracy z rozwiązaniami chmurowymi, a dzisiaj Martin Kappel opowie Państwu o czymś, co się nazywa Application Development Framework. Duża praca Alfresco wykonana w ostatnim czasie i już wyjaśniamy, o co chodzi.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's on? Oh, it's on. It's on. All right, so good morning, everybody. So my name is Martin Kappel, a solution engineer at Alfresco and based in Germany. And today we want to a little bit talk about the relevant, or we want to focus on the relevant. Or in other words, we want to talk about the Alfresco Application Development Framework. Since this is a very long name, I will continue with ADF, so we are shortening this a little bit. All right, so we, as I already said, we want to talk about the ADF. So probably everybody, and I'm looking for my clicker, probably most of you have seen this picture already, right? So we are talking about the Alfresco Digital Business Platform. So the central platform in your organization to drive and manage content and processes, right? So, and on top of that, we have open APIs, standardized interfaces. So why is this important? Because if we want to be the central platform in your organization, we need to make it very, very easy to integrate with. So on the one hand, we want to integrate with external applications in your organization, and vice versa. So also the external applications want to integrate with the central platform, so with the Alfresco Digital Business Platform. So there is why we have this open and standardized API layer, right? Then, of course, we have integrations and extensions. So a lot of partners have standard solutions, and of course you can also start from scratch writing your own applications if you want, or you can use the standard and default interfaces from Alfresco, like Alfresco Share, you know that maybe, or the Alfresco Process Services UI. All of them are very good, standard, but good, perfect UIs, so no doubt. But what if you have a certain use case? So for example, you want to provide your external customers, well, external agencies, partners, or your customers a platform or just a tool to share content. So just with a single button with upload, and you wanna provide your customers with the ability to just upload content and nothing else. Or some workers within your company just responsible for signing off contracts. So do you need to expose them with a one-fits-all and really extensive user interface with a bunch of features they don't need, and with complex views they don't need? So that's exactly why we have the Application Development Framework. So with the Application Development Framework, you're really able to, tailor and focus an application. So build a dedicated app for a dedicated use case and really tailor it to a certain use case and to the needs which a user wants to have. So what is the Application Development Framework actually? So actually a little bit of this, so Lego bricks and Lego blocks. So from Alfresco, we provide you with predefined or pre-implemented components. So that means all you have to do is taking these components like a login screen or a task list or a document list, compose them together and build an app for that. And it's very important to understand where we are moving here. So everything what we are talking about, like the content, so I just said the Alfresco Digital Business Platform is a perfect and great central platform to drive and manage content, information, governance, and so forth. And everything of that is really defined here. So the processes you're defining and driving, the content, the permissions, access rights, metadata model, everything is really happening in the core services and nowhere else. So whenever you integrate with the digital business platform, Of course, all the content is available, the rules are applied, access rights are applied. So all of that is within the core services. And with the application development framework, we are only talking about how the use case or features are exposed to the end user. So we're talking only about user interface and how to deal with that, right? And really tailored to a certain use case. So that's it. So that means when we go ahead and look at that, we have all the information in the central platform, and we can have dozens of apps, several, hundreds maybe. And I'm quite often asked, so shall we implement and develop now an app for every use case? Well, please take a second, take out your smartphone, unlock your screen and look at your home screen. So there you have an app for everything, for ordering a taxi, for navigation system, and probably the most important, for ordering a pizza. So this is all, for everything you have a dedicated app. So you can have quite of the same, different apps, and you can, of course, access centrally all the information. So also exchange information, kind of exchange the information between the apps. So that is really the target here. All right, and how this works and how the, oh, sorry, one before. So it's pretty common that a business department is going to the IT and asking, well, or saying, well, we have a requirement, a business requirement. Can you help us with that? And we need this and that and this. And the IT department says, well, awesome, we fully understand that, that's absolutely great, but look at our list, what we have on projects here. So we can come back to you in 3 months or so, and then we can start gathering your requirements and start developing. Yeah, well, great. What's happening behind the scenes? This business department is looking for their own solution, right? Looking for their own solution, and the shared IT grows. Congratulations. So what can you do with the ADF? You really can start within minutes building a template or basic app, a kind of a skeleton, and then after that continuously really develop that further. You have access to the entire template, to all the components, and then you can kind of grow the app and tailor it to the really needs. And you don't have any other application or point solution in place there, right? And what I already said, how this is working, I would like to show you in a demo. So we are moving in the insurance context. So actually the demo is a little bit about this one here. This is the process, and funnily, this process is not really relevant to us because this is defined and specified in the central platform, nowhere else. So we are talking only about the app we want to build and how this is exposed to the end user, right? So first, I want to start. Can I use this as well? I'm sorry. Is this working as well? Yeah, perfect. So this is, I think that's good, yes. Good. At least you can hear me. All right. So, as I already said, what I want to show you is how easy it is to spin up an app within a minute and then also tailor it a little bit into the use case we want to address. So here in our case, the insurance use case. Don't be scared. I don't want to teach you how to develop today. You just will see some code lines, and you also will see that most of the things are copy and paste because we talk about the predefined components and we put them together. And how this is working, I will show you here. So, first, I'm using a generator. The generator is called Yo, and we use the Alfresco ADF app generator, right? And it's asking me how do I want to call this, and we leave the project name as it is, so Alfresco de Warsaw app, and continue. Then it's asking me, so what do you want to have part of this app? Content or processes or both? We want to have both, of course. And then I'm just kicking off saying yes to the dependencies, and the app, the skeleton, is generated. As this will take some time, and like in a good cooking show, I have prepared something, and therefore just picking it up from there and start my first app. So we are really just have generated the basic app, and that's where it starts off to. So for that, going here. It's taking longer than expected, but at some point it works. All right. And as already said, what we have here right now, not this of course, but in a few seconds hopefully, is really the basics. So that's a good starting point. So we have already an app with a login screen. We can log in there, and then we can browse the documents. And oh, this is not nice. This is really not nice. I tried that this morning. I really tried that this morning. Since this is not working, which is very sad, I'm just trying it once more.
Martin, while you're checking on that.
Yes, go ahead.
I just thought this, I know there were some questions about, we did have a change in terms of ownership on the company, and I can probably answer any questions that are happening right now. So as Merton mentioned, T.H. Lee, T-H-L-E-E, is the private equity company that acquired Alfresco. And really there is no change except that there's a new set of owners. So in terms of how we operate, how we license, where we're going, what the roadmap is, it's generally exactly the same. Oh, is it working now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, at some point, if you do have any questions about the business, I'll answer it after we finish the demo here. But I'm pretty familiar with what's going on in the company right now, so I'm sure I can answer the questions.
No, I take this one. This is fine. All right, so let's continue. So finally, right before my presentation, I wanted to speed up some things, so change something, and it causes lower delay. Sorry for that. Anyway, so this is right where we can start. Let's try to log in. So this is our basic app. So when we try to log in, and this is supposed to be, it doesn't work. Why? Because we need to configure that first, right? So we start, and this is really what I want to show you, that when we look at this and go to the app config, then we see on the right side here that that we are going into nowhere. So we can use existing Alfresco digital business platforms to connect to. And if I have done everything right, no, I didn't, then we just use, for example, this URL, and like the same here. You see the mistake here? Yeah. And if we save that, we see in the background that the application, there is a typo in? Yep, I see that. Thank you very much. Wow. That it is automatically refreshing, and we can, or should be able now, to log in to our system. All right, and here we go. So we are connecting to an existing underlying system to the Alfresco Digital Business Platform and can already use the information and the content which is stored in there, right? So of course, well, let's go to the logout and bring that a little bit more in the context of Warsaw. So therefore, what I'm doing is I can use really the documentation, and I just want to give you an example how easy that is. So when you look up or search for the login component, everything is described also with screenshots, what you can do, and for example also how to change the background, for example, and so forth. Of course, I've prepared something here and just need to copy and paste here something. And if I go to my login component, I just have to add here this one. And we save it. And if I go back, we see it's automatically refreshing. And this is way more nicer and looking more like Warsaw, of course. So again, we are logging in. And as already said, we are acting in the insurance space, right? So therefore, we check the documents. All right, so we are starting right at the top on the root folder of the repository, and this is what we don't want to have. For that, I just easily can, for example, go back again, go to my document list component, and most of the things is already defined here. And we also see the current folder ID here, right? So we can define that here, store that, and it's again refreshing here. And you can see that we are now starting within the right folder. So, for example, we can navigate through the case files and the insurance customers. If we click on that, okay, so we see all our customers with the respective customer files. So to identify these customers, it maybe would help if you would have some little more information available here, right? So for that, again, I have prepared something. We are going back, and you see everything, by the way, is documented. If we, for example, click again on here on the documentation, I have the data column component, and if I scroll down a little bit, everything is nicely described, what you need. So actually, it's just copying, pasting, and defining your parameters or your columns you want to show, right? And that we're closing that. And pasting that here within the document list. And it refreshes automatically again. And when we look into the insurance customers, then we see, oh, well, we have some more columns. And of course, we can continue now and really tailor that to our needs and make it more precise, adding some content actions, for example, or also providing some reports and so forth. And that's what I want to show as well. So I will show you, for example, a more enhanced app already. So if we go to that, then this is something I've prepared already. And when we log in, for example, then I start with a kind of a dashboard, right? So we can also navigate through the case files, through the insurance customers, create new claims, create new insurance, and this is exactly what we want to do now. And want to go through this quick process. Again, we are talking about the exposure of that user interface. The actual process is specified in the Alfresco process services and is happening there, of course. So here we start, for example, with the information we need to provide to create a new insurance customer. So we call him, we told winner, he is male, we provide an address, insurance, street, 21. We have a zip code, 12345. We have a city, and the country we can also provide. We have some insurance information. So for example, please tell me what kind of insurance type you want to have, private. You see how it looks and feels. And this is using yeah, how it looks in field. So this is how the forms are already rendered in the application development framework. The actual form is specified within the process services. So you actually don't have to do anything to have this form available here in the application development framework. So when do we want to start? Then we have an IBAN number. So take here, copy here 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And provide some documents. I can upload an ID, so ID mail, and because we also are interested in a car insurance, we also need a driver license. So, and that's how we can start then the process. All right, and if it is going quick, then we should have the next step. So for reviewing that process, here we get all the data of that insurance customer, very nice, and we just can approve or even reject this new customer. We, of course, will approve that. So, and within this app, kind of a unified user interface for processes and content altogether, we can now, hopefully, also explore our customers. And here he is. So behind the scenes, the process ran through, generated all the relevant customer files and documents and content. And when we look into that, it added all the documents, the relevant documents, hopefully already generated the contracts. Here is, so if we double click, you see all of these are really standard components. I haven't coded anything custom on my side. So here we have the generated document. I think we can even zoom in here. Oh, this is smaller. So provides with all the relevant data we have provided. Yes, and that's it. So we can actually also browse through the invoices which have been generated or the documents we have added. Yes, and on top of that, yes, we can also, for example, navigate for some reports and look after our statuses of the different insurance customers. So as you can see, and some of you might know Alfresco Share. Alfresco Share is good. It's a perfect UI. I really like it. But for that particular use case, that means 2 seconds or 2 minutes? Yes. Okay. So yeah. So Alfresco Share, I really like it myself, but it comes with a lot of features which we most of the times don't need. And if you imagine a clerk in an insurance company who is really just working with the insurance customers and the claims, so about to create new customers and managing processing claims, maybe this is a way more tailored and focused application to deal with without the noise of irrelevant or unneeded features or functions. And that it is. And to underline again how easy that is, we have a customer in Austria which wanted to provide an app for external doctors to provide their doctors' expertise. And they were able, within 3 weeks, to implement and go into production with that app. So it really underlines and proves how easy it is to deal with the application development framework. And having said that, I'm just saying thank you.